Hey guys, it's Simon. This is Pro Wrestling Unlimited as we are here on the 14th of March 2022 to talk about everything that went down tonight on Monday Night Raw. And yes, I'm going to say right off the bat here, my condolences do go out to the family, the friends, and the fans of Scott Hall, also known as Razor Ramon, or also known all the way back in 1960, I want to say it was 64? No, not 64, 84. 1984, when he first started wrestling, he was known as none other, you're not going to believe this, American Starship Coyote. That was his first name in wrestling, American Starship Coyote. Yeah. But I do want to send my condolences to Scott Hall's fans, his family, his friends, everybody. It's a tough one. This is a very tough one. For me, I got into wrestling right towards like the end of the Attitude Era. Didn't really know much of WCW at the time, so I didn't find Scott Hall till after WWE bought the WCW, then brought in the NWO. I thought Scott Hall was really cool, and I was like, NWO is really cool. Then I went back and found as much NWO stuff from WCW I can find, and that's when I was like, oh, no, this guy's good. And then I went and watched his old WWF stuff. So yeah, I was on the Scott Hall train late, but I found it and I loved it. But WWE, we'll talk about it when we get to it. Great tribute tonight. As always, WWE killing it with the video packages, paying tribute to the one and only great bad guy, Scott Hall. Also, yeah, I'm going to say it, there was no Cody Rhodes. But overall, I liked tonight's Raw. For anybody that thinks that this whole Seth Rollins has no path to WrestleMania thing is real and he's not going to work a match on the card, you're wrong. Seth will be involved in some form or fashion at WrestleMania. I'm just going to put that out there. Seth will be involved with WrestleMania. But with that, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, YouTube.com/PW Unlimited, and Twitter.com/PW Unlimited. Remember, if you're watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can help us out either by hitting that donate button down below or donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Excuse me. Also remember, you can subscribe to the channel one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime. So remember, if you say, hey, I can't afford to pay for that tiered subscription, I don't have an extra $5 because I'm already paying for Amazon Prime, well, there you go. You take that Prime account, you take that Twitch account, you link them together, bada bing, bada boom, you're Prime Gaming. What is Prime Gaming? It's something that gives you a bunch of cool free things like free video games. Right now, Madden 22. It gives you free stuff for games like Grand Theft Auto Online, Fall Guys, New World, League of Legends, Valorant, and so many more. Plus, you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you'd like to subscribe to, and I'd greatly appreciate it if you subscribed right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. But if you don't have Amazon Prime, don't worry, because you can use anybody's Amazon Prime. It doesn't have to be yours. You just need to link an Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, whether that's your mother's, your father, your sister, your brother, your auntie, your uncle, your grandma, your grandpa, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your mother-in-law, your sister-in-law, your father-in-law, your brother-in-law, your sister-in-law's mother's brother, your cousin's uncle's sister. It doesn't matter. You say, hey, can I link your Amazon account to my Twitch account so I can support a good creator, a cool creator, a nice creator? Yes, thank you. Much obliged. But on the flip side, if you're watching over on YouTube, you can help us out over there as well with a super chat or a super sticker donation. Also, remember, you can help us out by hitting that donate button or that join button down below to become a member of the Unlimited Army. Give me 1 second. I have to check this message. As a member, you get early access to news, podcast episodes, non-news videos, and so much more. But if you say, yeah, but YouTube's going to take their cut, I don't want to give YouTube any money. All you got to do to get all that is head over to patreon.com/PW Unlimited. Again, that's patreon.com/PW Unlimited. And finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether that's a brand new game like Sifu or Elden Ring or whatnot, buy something. Maybe you want to buy an old game like Grand Theft Auto 5. Well, when checkout comes, put in code PW Unlimited. Again, that's code PW Unlimited. But with that, we've got Monday Night Raw to talk about. Give me 1 second. Okay, gotcha. But next week's, tonight's show was from Jacksonville, Florida. And a lot of people go, oh, Cody Rhodes tonight. And I know at one point, they wanted Cody to come in tonight. At one point, when they were talking with Cody, they were like, hey, a cool thing to do would have you come in Jacksonville. The semblances of what Jacksonville means to wrestling right now. But I don't know what's going on with that. So I'm going to say, because it's all I know. Nothing really. I know what they wanted, but I don't know what they're doing. The show opens up, and we get the graphic in memory of Scott Razor Ramon Hall. And I go, whoa. Last we heard, he's still alive. Because Dave Meltzer tweeted maybe 4 hours before Raw. Just because let me read Meltzer's tweet actually first. So Dave Meltzer tweeted, I want to say roughly 4 hours before Raw. Let's see. And thank you to Jack Dawson for the super sticker. Oh, now I'm not going to be able to find it, huh? Yeah, here he goes. He tweeted out, Scott Hall was taken off life support 4 hours ago. He is still alive at this writing. Miracles have happened, but this would need to be one of them. Then X-Pac would confirm that, yes, this is true. He was taken off life support, but he was still alive. But by the time Raw did go on the air, he had passed away. And again, X-Pac did confirm that as well. As WWE put the graphic up, they then sent out the tweet. We are saddened to learn of the death of Scott Hall, or the passing of Scott Hall. And X-Pac did tweet out, he's gone. Sad day in the world of professional wrestling. The world may have lost the greatest bad guy may have ever been. Kevin Owens opens up the actual show. He comes down to the ring, and he's supposed to talk about, Stone Cold Steve Austin. And he's looking around, and he looks at the camera, and the first thing he says is, hey, yo. And I was like, oh, my God. That was great. He was delighted to announce that he's going to WrestleMania. He announced it like when you win the Super Bowl, you say, I'm going to Disneyland. He said, I'm going to WrestleMania. Not only was he going to WrestleMania, but he was also going to be in the main event on Saturday because his guest on the KO show was the greatest of all time, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Owens said that he used his large Canadian brain to come up with an idea of challenging the embodiment of Texas. And he planned on smearing Austin all over Texas as the crowd begins to chant, USA, 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 USA. The crowd's chanting the USA chants. And no one said that you wouldn't see a can of whoop ass. Or he said we would see a can of whoop ass. I wrote this wrong. We wouldn't see a can of whoop ass. We'd get a nice can of Canadian beer. Also, that kind of plays into something later. That was kind of I think it was spontaneous on Owens. So Owens admitted that he doesn't even like beer, but would be glad to crack one open after he beats the hell out of Austin, stating, quote, and that's the bottom line because KO said so. Owens then stunned the cameraman that was standing in the ring, and that was the end of the segment. So as actually, did I skip a whole? No, I didn't. No, I didn't. So as the first match was about to start, well, actually, we see Seth Rollins in the back. Remember that. So as the first match was about to start, Austin Theory would enter, and they aired a long recap on what's going on with him and Pat McAfee as he joined commentary for no absolute reason. I don't know why Austin Theory needed to be out here. I don't know why Austin Theory needed to be involved in this. It made no sense at all. But we ended up having Damien Priest versus the United States champion Finn Balor in a 7.5-minute non-title match. Priest gave Balor a razor's edge on the announce table, which led to a break about 90 seconds in. Also, when Priest came out, he did the Scott Hall surfboard walk. Really cool. Balor fought back after the break and went up for a coup de grace, but stopped upon seeing Theory jumping on the apron. Balor then gave Theory a shotgun dropkick into the leather chair, but Priest gave Balor a reckoning and picked up the victory. There you go. Austin Saturday says, well, he needed to be involved to prove he's a better announcer than Pat McAfee. No. If so, then why would he get involved in the match? Why would he attack Finn Balor afterwards? It made zero sense for him to attack Finn. None at all. It was dumb. Because he jumps in the ring, gives Finn the ATL, and then pins him. I mean, okay, the champ just got beat. You don't need nobody beating him up after either, making the champ look even weaker than weak. Like, no. No, 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 no. So in the back, Kevin Patrick approached Seth Rollins and asked him about WrestleMania. Rollins stared at the camera as the crowd started chanting, Cody, 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 Cody. No Cody. Next up, we had a just shy of 2-minute match. This wasn't good. It was Omos and Commander Aziz. So, Omos gave Aziz a suplex before hitting a tree slam and pinning him to pick up the victory. It was not good. Omos then literally grabbed the head of Apollo Crews, picked him up, and then chokeslammed him. From the floor to the apron, into the ring, and chokeslam. I'm like, yeah, that was crap. So excited, Kevin Owens approached Seth Rollins in the back. Encouraged him, come up with an idea. You're a visionary. You're the architect. If anybody can come up with an idea to get to WrestleMania, it's you. And all of a sudden, Seth gets this big old smile on his face. He's like, yeah. And he goes out to the ring. Actually, he goes out later. He runs away-ish, kind of like walks off with like an idea look on his face. Yeah. Earlier in the day, Queen Zelena told Carmella, focus on the title defense or else. Bang says the build-up between Austin and Owens is odd. At Mania, it's going to be Owens' show, but is there even going to be a show? It's not a match. It's literally, in my opinion, this is The Rock, Eric Rowan, WrestleMania 34. No. 32. It's really all this is going to be. They're going to do the KO show, then they're going to have like a 6-second match or whatever, and there you go. It's literally probably just going to be, for everything I've heard, for everything that's been described by different people, it's The Rock, Eric Rowan, WrestleMania 32 all over again. So we had Liv Morgan versus Queen Zelena, and what happens? Well, Liv beats Zelena 2 weeks in a row. Match went just shy of 3 minutes. Morgan took a swipe at Carmella, leapt up on the apron, and that allowed Zelena to bring her down from the ropes with the powerbomb. Ripley then chased Carmella into the arms of Corey Graves. Corey then started kicking, like, get out of here. Get away. We don't need you here. Morgan then gave Zelena the Oblivion and picked up the victory. Zelena gave Carmella a look after their match. Seth then pranced out to his music as soon as this match was over. Like, the match, it was over, and like Rhea and Liv were in the ring, and they're like, looking around at the crowd to celebrate, and all of a sudden, burn it down! And I'm like, oh. Okay. Oh, they plugged this week being 3/16 in 2 days, and on 3/16 day, Austin will have a new beer. Yep. His American Lager. He's got the IPA, now he's got American Lager. Don't ask me what the difference is. I don't really drink. I don't know. There was also more videos of Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns from MSG. It's like, fuck. How many more weeks we need to play these? It was like 2 weeks ago now. But Seth comes out to the ring. Rollins is pumped. And he's happy. And he's the lady. He says, I got a plan to get to WrestleMania. He said, but I can't talk about this plan without my best friend out here, KO. Please come out here. Kevin Owens comes down to the ring. Rollins said that Owens has a talk show. Maybe Seth should have a talk show. Maybe a freaking speaking with Seth freaking Rollins. He'll bring back the Rollins report or something else. He goes, but I know what you're going to say. I know what you're going to say. You can't have more than one talk show at WrestleMania. I would like to have Stone Cold Steve Austin as my guest. So how about I make a suggestion? It's going to be silly, but let's do it. You, me, winner gets to host their show and gets Steve Austin at WrestleMania. And Owens is like, are you freaking kidding me? What do you know? And Sonya Deville prances out. She's like, Seth, I like your idea. So this is what we're going to do. Tonight in the main event, Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens. And if Seth Rollins wins, he indeed gets to replace Kevin Owens. Owens was pissed. After a commercial in the back, Owens explained to Deville why her idea didn't make any sense. He rambled, and then they cut away. We had Rey and Dominic against Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander as Miz and Logan Paul joined commentary. Match went just shy of 3.5 minutes. So, the Mysterios gave Alexander a double 619 before Rey took out Benjamin with a Thez press off the apron. Dominic gave Alexander a frog splash for a pinfall victory. Again, only like 3.5. Nothing here. Commentary. Logan Paul said something because he was asked about his training. He's like, I've been doing a lot of push-ups and sit-ups and running. He's like, but I'm not worried. Rey Mysterio is great. Look how small he is. He's short. He's small. He's little. Miz and Paul then attacked the Mysterios post-match. Rey got rid of Miz, which left Paul with the Mysterios. He went to go punch Dominic. Dominic avoided it. Rey then gave him the drop down like he was going for the 619. He couldn't take that. He fell face first onto the mat and then kind of like scampered back up the ropes. Miz pulls him out of the ring, and there we go. Then got the announcement of, yes, Queen Sharmell will be going into the WWE Hall of Fame, and she will be inducted by her husband, Booker T, or should I say, King Booker! Edge then makes his way out to the ring. Still all dark, still all purple, but he's got new music. So, Edge comes out to new music. It's the song's called The Other Side by Alter Bridge. Oh, good song. Good song. First time I remember not seeing Edge come out and hearing You Think You Know Me. Like, just anything saying, you think you know me, you think you know me. Yeah, I think this is his first theme song that doesn't say it at some point. Butch calls himself the benchmark of WWE. He insulted the intelligence of the fans and called himself better than everyone in this industry. But he hasn't shown the aptitude since coming back. He let a lot of things happen. He let a lot of people get to him. He tried to satisfy the fans. That only made him weak. Thank you, D of 6, for the super sticker. Really appreciate that, or super chat. Because they realized that the fans don't matter to him anymore. It was their fault that Randy Orton injured him. Their fault that Rollins got the best of him. Their fault that the Aquaman cosplayer Roman Reigns stacked and pinned him at WrestleMania. If that Edge faced AJ Styles at WrestleMania, of course that Edge would lose. Edge says that he wouldn't allow himself to be judged by Styles or anybody else in the locker room. The crowd then chanted, "You suck." Edge said that he would pass the verdict around here from now on. Edge warned Styles that if he did make it to Mania, quote, "You will be judged." Cool. Getting Aleister Black vibes, but cool. Josh Schreiber interviewed Bianca Belair. Belair offered the same explanation about using her hair as she did last week. It's all kind of getting old. Belair said that Raw has been nice and peaceful since she cracked Becky in the throat. Belair then planned on shutting her up for good at WrestleMania. Then we got another Virus coming to video. And then we had Bianca Belair versus Doudrop, and I guess Doudrop and Nikki ASH are a thing now. Like, they're a group, they're a tag team, they're a duo. Kind of came out of nowhere. They talked about beating Bianca. Now, Bianca didn't deserve to be in the title match at WrestleMania, but the two of them will be rooting for Becky Lynch. And also, I believe in the last 4 months, this is the 8th or 9th time we've had Bianca versus Doudrop in some sort of match, whether that's singles, tag, or multi-person. Yikes. This match went 8 minutes long. They took each other out 2 minutes into the match, which led to a break. Belair kicked out of a Michinoku driver and followed up with a spinebuster and a KOD to pick up the victory. Yes, this match went 8 minutes, and nothing of note happened. Crowd popped when she gave Doudrop the KOD. Not like we haven't seen it before. After the match, Becky Lynch would yank Belair out of the ring by her braid and tossed her around ringside. Lynch would then wrap a steel chair around her head and yank her by the braid into the ring post. The attack was good. I think Becky also said something about, I'm taking your hair, your braid, or something next week. So, yeah. But they got Randy Orton Riddle Championship celebration. Orton noted that this year will be his 18th appearance at WrestleMania, and it would be the sweetest one because he's going in a tag team champion for the first time. He thanked Riddle for always having his back, not good at throwing parties. Riddle said this was the greatest moment of his life. He noticed that there were birthday balloons and figured, Randy didn't forget my birthday, even though it's not for 10 months. I think he said 10 months, maybe it was 2 months, something like that. Riddle also appreciated that he got popcorn and asked where the popcorn was from. And Randy goes, I got it from concessions. And he goes, I love popcorn. Orton then admitted that this isn't him. Throwing a party, not what he does. But there's still one more gift in a tiny bag, but he didn't specifically reveal what was inside. The Street Profits would interrupt. Riddle got excited and Orton invited them to the party. Montez Ford said they weren't here to party. They were here for business. Ford mentioned that their win a couple of weeks ago over RK Bro and said that deserves them the right to challenge for the titles of WrestleMania. Orton goes, what? No. You think just one random win one week means you deserve to get the title shot? You know what we had to go through to get this title shot and win these titles back? No. Ford then said, we're done asking for opportunities. I'm telling you that we're facing you at WrestleMania. Orton informed him that nobody tells him what to do, and no one has ever told him what to do. Not The Undertaker, not Shawn Michaels, not Triple H, not even Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Orton then told Ford that he and his, quote, homie should leave the ring. Riddle was like, bro. And they're like, hey, in this situation, Riddle, we ain't bros. We ain't bros. Riddle admitted the Street Profits beat them, and maybe they do deserve to be their opponents. Riddle calmed Orton down. Orton told the Street Profits, you know what? I should be grateful. Riddle's always got my back. Got a good point. Sure, we accept your challenge at WrestleMania. He said that the next time, I think it was Ford, said next time we're in Jacksonville, they throw the party that wasn't such ass. Riddle was offended by that insult and was like, hey, Randy tried. Don't get on him. How about you and me, we fight? Dawkins goes, you want to fight him? Let's go. You, Tez, right now. We then got a tweet from AJ Styles. AJ said he'll be back next week, as he stated, quote, exercise judgment, grant mercy, sit on a mountain of omniscience. I don't know where you got this garbage, but one thing I will grant you is fair warning. Coming back to Raw next week, and you better prepare yourself. Stupid haircut, dramatic lighting, and all. AJ Styles will be back on the show next week. No since Saturday, in WWE, there's no such thing as a rematch clause. Hence, why Damien Priest had to defeat Finn Balor tonight to deserve a title shot. So we had Riddle against Montez Ford, and the match went 9 minutes long and had a DQ finish. Riddle tried an overhead suplex outside the ring, but Ford landed on his feet and hit a clothesline off the steel steps, which led to a break. Ford remained on offense after the break until Riddle came back with an Orton-inspired power slam and a draping DDT. Ford countered an RKO and an enziguri, but Riddle came right back with an RKO. And speaking of RKO, so before the match starts, when they're ending the segment or whatever, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins, they do their thing. Dawkins is like, the Street Profits are here, and we want... And Orton goes, no, we ain't ending this segment like that. No, we're going to end this with the 3 most dangerous words in all sports entertainment. Or 3 most dangerous letters. R-K, bro. And I go, actually, that's 5 letters, and bro's not a letter. Just saying. So, back to the match. Ford countered an RKO with an enziguri, but Riddle came right back with an RKO. Before Riddle could make a cover, Otis laid out Orton outside the ring, while Chad Gable took out Dawkins. Riddle went after Otis, but Otis knocked him out as well, which, well, caused the disqualification. He says, how can you say bro's not a letter? Because it's not. It's 3 letters, B-R-O. Like, I don't even understand your question. How can you say bro's not a letter? It's not. It's 3 letters. Duh. So Otis gave Dawkins a combo German suplex. This is clothesline. Or Otis then gave Ford a Vader bomb. And, yeah. Gable hit him on the moonsault. I guess they're going to make it a triple threat possibly at the pay-per-view. Exactly. 5 letters, bangs. R-K-B-R-O. Then we got it. Scott Hall tribute video, which was freaking amazing. All right, Hot Rod Bubba. First off, that's not even a complete actual sentence. So, yeah, that's not even a proper sentence. So, don't even come at me with that. So, the announcers are all talking about Scott Hall and what he means to them, and what he means to this business. You could just tell Corey Graves tried to hold it in so hard, as we've all were since the beginning of Raw when we got the news, hey, Scott passed. Then they play just a terrific chef's kiss of a video tributing Scott Hall. Video ends. They're panning the crowd. Everyone's on their feet and they're chanting, Razor, 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 Razor. Amazing. There's 30 minutes left in the show, and out comes Kevin Owens. Go to break. And this was so funny. So we come back from break, and they, again, start talking about, this Wednesday is 316 day. Austin's going to have his beer and whatnot, be his new American lager. And Owens is yelling off camera, who cares about beer? I don't drink beer, I drink milk. WWE, you got to talk about that I drink milk? Who cares about his beer? He's not even here. I was dying. Like, it's the little things that makes Kevin Owens one of the best right now. It's the little things that he does that he doesn't even know if the camera's going to pick it up, but he does it anyways, just in the hopes that the camera sees it and hears it and catches it. And they did, because they had it on the screen, I guess, saying the whole Austin 316 day and the beer this week and coming out. And it was just great, because he's like, who cares about his beer? I don't drink beer. I drink milk. Is WWE talk about me drinking milk? I loved it. There's a long video package that talked about the tumultuous last couple of weeks of Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. And they even showed what happened about an hour and a half prior to the beginning of the show. Before coming out, Rollins told Kevin Patrick how excited he was. And Rollins entered the ring and then went back to break. After break, they told us that Bianca Belair was taken to the hospital. She had a throat injury and couldn't barely speak. It's the same thing, whatever happened with Becky last week. That may have been real, I don't know. We still don't know why Becky posted a picture from a hospital last week and what all went down with that. But yeah. 17 minutes left in the show. The match finally starts. This match goes 16 minutes and 16 seconds. They went to break not long after this match, or after the start. They're going back and forth for a little while. Owens countered a dive, hits a senton, they go to break. Coming back, Owens uses Tornado DDT before spiking Rollins with another DDT for a 2. Rollins fought back and hit a sling blade and a springboard knee before hitting consecutive suicide dives. The second sent Owens over the announce table. Owens barely beat the 10 count, but ran into a thrust kick. Rollins followed this with a frog splash for a near fall. Battled on the buckle, which led Owens to hitting an avalanche fisherman suplex for a near fall. He tried a senton, but Rollins got his knees up. The crowd chanted, "This is awesome." Owens fired back with a clothesline, but Rollins countered his stunner into a schoolboy for a 2. This could have been a 3, but the referee was kind of out of position, and Owens almost collided with him. Rollins then placed the referee, or pled to the referee, for Owens hit him with a stunner and picked up the victory, keeping his spot at WrestleMania. Then they said the quote that made people think, oh, Cody's still coming. Where's the quote? I have it here. Someone sent it to me because I didn't write it down because I didn't catch it. But he said his dreams, or I think it was Graves said after the match, pertaining to Seth Rollins, his dreams were dashed. This must be a nightmare. So, I mean, dashing Cody Rhodes, nightmare, American Nightmare. I think people are looking too much into that. Honestly, if Cody's coming in, I don't think commentary knows. I don't think commentary should know if Cody's coming in or not. I don't think they should get the heads up because them being shocked and surprised makes it better, makes it more of a real moment. Don't tell commentary. Just have Cody show up and they go, what? That's Cody freaking Rhodes coming out to get Seth freaking Rollins. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You do know what I mean. Owens again retains the spot. Seth still needs a path to WrestleMania. Also, a lot of people go, they kept saying the road to WrestleMania. That's Cody Rhodes. And I go, what? They've been calling it the road to WrestleMania for as long as I can ever remember. Like, the farthest back I can remember, and this probably goes even farther back, that I can remember them using the line road to WrestleMania was WrestleMania 19. That's the farthest back I can remember myself. They maybe even used it farther back than that. But what is the current live event tour called? Oh, the Road to WrestleMania tour. Oh, hold on. Didn't they have in previous WWE games the Road to WrestleMania like mode? That's not a Cody Rhodes reference saying Seth doesn't have a road to WrestleMania. That's not a Cody thing. That's not them teasing Cody saying that Seth doesn't have a, quote, road to WrestleMania. They've been using the term road to WrestleMania for ever. Just about. Well, we'll see. I still think Cody's coming to WWE. But with that, guys, that's what I thought of tonight's Monday Night Raw. Now I want to know what you guys thought of tonight's Raw. Remember, you can put your questions, comments, and concerns in the YouTube chat with the super chat to make sure your questions, comments, and concerns do get read live on the air. And, well, you can also text in to 510-906-1341. Alex 101, everybody heard about that. Everybody did. We've put up tributes and stuff to him. We've been tweeting out other people's tweets and tributes about Scott Hall throughout Raw and tonight and whatnot. So, yes, we talked about it at the top of the show. As far as the Twitch poll goes, 75% liked the show. 25% thought it was just all right. As far as the Twitter poll does go, Twitter, 40% liked the show, 37% thought it was just all right, and 22% did not like tonight's Raw. And finally, the YouTube poll. 53% liked tonight's show, 27% thought it was just all right, and 20% did not like tonight's Raw. As we look at the text messages, this person says, any updates on Johnny Gargano? Yeah, he's been streaming 2K22 on Twitch. Person says, I still think Cody versus Seth at Mania. That's been the plan. They think it's still the plan. This person says, next week's Raw is in Chicago. You think they'll have Cody make his return there? Hey, they can have him return anywhere. It doesn't matter what city. Jacksonville would make sense just because of the ties to AEW, and it'd be kind of like a oof to AEW kind of thing. But honestly, he could return anywhere, and it doesn't really matter. And this person says, oh, I forgot to mention this. Thank you for reminding me. I'm excited to see Miz on NXT. Yes, tomorrow night, Miz will be on NXT to host Miz TV with the new NXT champion and his buddy and pal, Dolph Ziggler. So, yeah, Miz on NXT tomorrow. Gonna be on there with Dolph hosting Miz TV. Doubt they have Logan Paul on there though, but yeah, gonna be a good show. I don't know what else is announced for tomorrow's show, but I think it'll be cool to see what they do with Miz and Dolph Ziggler and the route they go with Dolph Ziggler to see how they get to Dolph and Braun Breaker at Stand and Deliver. So cool. But with that, guys, honestly, thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and Twitter.com/PW Unlimited. I'll be live a little bit later. Twitch.tv/Timmy Buddy, playing some of that WWE 2K22. We're going to jump into my universe. We're going to jump in to my faction. I'm going to play some matches you guys want to see. I'm going to go through community creations and check out some of the dope-ass creations we've seen so far. I mean, I saw a really good Moxley earlier. I saw a really good CM Punk, Bryan Danielson. There's people just cranking out creations left and right that are like, holy crap. Holy crap. So with that, guys, join me a little bit later. Twitch.tv/Timmy Buddy. We'll be playing some WWE 2K22. Have a good one, guys.